Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest Independent Travel Guide, an episode for women like you who need a little extra support traveling the world, one woman at a time. This podcast is sponsored by Sun Marketing, doing advertising and marketing in San Diego since 1993. I've been traveling independently a long time and soon will release a second guidebook on the independent travel steps. Please share this podcast with your parents, loved ones, and future travelers so you make their trips the very best, like Travelbest. In this episode, the FAQ is how to avoid those pickpockets. Today's destination is Pyranees France. Today's mistake, update your credit cards. And advice, reunite with a friend on your next trip. And now for the FAQ, how to avoid those pickpockets? The answer, my friend Nicole, who's originally from France and now lives in Brooklyn, New York, gave this advice. Don't stand next to the door on the subway or put your wallet in your pants back pocket. There are teams that know how to work the subway car, so save your wallet and phone from pickpockets. Be aware and use a hidden wallet for your valuables. Now, here are 3 tips. Number 1, stay away from the heavily tourist areas and surrounding streets. Usually there's more than one person involved. One distracts you, the other empties your pockets. And you can get jostling on crowded buses too. Number 2, no dark, empty streets, okay? And number 3, keep your money out of sight. Don't wear expensive jewelry or clothing that will attract them. And now for today's destination, Pyrenees France. The region between Spain and France may not be on everyone's short travel list, but you may want to consider it for yours to get off the beaten path and away from the big crowds in the main cities of France. Pyrenees de Luchon is 50 kilometers southwest of St. Gaudens and 40 kilometers south of Montreuil, at the foot of the Central Pyrenees. There is no crossing point into Spain, although you can see it from here. These mountains split the Iberian Peninsula from the rest of Europe, rising higher than 11,000 feet. The town is in a valley at the crossing of the Lion River from the west and the Peak River from the south. The railway station is in the SNCF terminal and can connect to Paris with 2 stops. There is no train shuttle between Montreuil and Luchon, so 2 changes are now required. Many years ago, I took the overnight train from Paris to Luchon in a sleeper car. The train was so relaxing, I almost missed getting off the train and missing my stop. My host met me at the train station and brought me to the flat, which was really nice and just the beginning of some great hospitality in Luchon. It's basically at the foot of these Pyrenees mountains. The apartment was right off the main center of town. It was quaint and friendly. I went to a spa and got hosed. That's right. It was inside of a cave that was hundreds of years old. And in one of the rooms, I got blasted from a hose, not too different from a garden hose, only bigger. It was really strong water, which was refreshing and good for the muscles. I went to a nice dinner and ate local food and drank local wines and hiked the mountains and visited with locals at their homes, the French version of The Sound of Music. I hope you get to see this mountain range in Europe, enjoy the national parks, ski resorts, and lovely people who live here on both sides of the mountain. And now for today's mistake, update your credit cards. My mistake was using Uber with no credit card updated. I scheduled my ride for the next morning. I got confirmation that it was all set up. No further instructions came, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I tried to book a second ride, and that's where I discovered my credit card was not up to date. It's a good thing I wasn't in a hurry. I finally got my ride. Don't do that. Now for today's travel advice. Reunite with a friend on your next trip. If you have a friend you haven't seen in a while, why not plan a trip to the city where they live and start your own journey? Then when you have some ideas of where you want to go, what you want to do, reach out to that friend and let them know you'll be visiting and the details. Your friend may be able to meet you halfway, perhaps at a park or coffee shop. Now, don't expect that this will be a long stop, but welcome the rekindled friendship and smiles you will receive. Today, I want to bring meaning to your travel. So send me your travel tip. You can send it to my website, Facebook page, Facebook group, or Instagram. You can send to my Twitter, my blog. Maybe you'll see your tips in Dr. Travelbest's Independent Travel Steps.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.